people don't understand when we are in power, the battles we gotta fight that you will never know about. Never. Yeah.
Right. Well, you know, your privacy has always been important to me, and I would never say something that you didn't say, but I know that if you look at me, then clearly the world will know that you've already had the forbidden fruit.
Cancellation of Sherri Shepherd's show after just 4 seasons feels bigger than one talk show ending. The daytime TV space is changing, and Sherri's rise is inseparable from the Wendy Williams show. We all remember when Sherri was a recurring guest host during Wendy Williams' health hiatus and was officially given Wendy's 10 a.m. spot. Once it was obvious Wendy wouldn't be ready to come back anytime.
Sherri Shepherd is making headlines after her talk show was suddenly canceled, and the internet is full of speculation. Some people are claiming she refused to align with certain expectations in the entertainment industry, which allegedly led to her being pushed out. There are even rumors she was being positioned as the next Oprah Winfrey, but chose not to follow that path. Things got even more intense when Katt Williams reportedly supported her, suggesting he faced similar industry pressure in the past. Fans were confused because her show was doing well in ratings and revenue, with no major controversies before its cancellation. That's why many people are questioning what really happened behind the scenes.
Our show has not been renewed for another season. And I wanna say to y'all, everybody, y'all try not to faint or fall out, because healthcare is expensive and none of us have it anymore. So y'all don't fall out. But I have to say, in thinking about it, I'm truly overwhelmed by the outpouring of love that I have received from all of you. The messages, I feel every bit of the love that you've been sending to me. And thank you so much. But I want to be clear. I'm not ready to throw in the towel on this show just yet. I'm not. We're going to be airing episodes all through the fall, and we're going to continue to fight to keep the show alive in some way, shape, or form. Yes.
Before the cancellation drama fully unfolded, Sherri sparked backlash for defending Tyra Banks. This came right after a documentary revisited controversies surrounding America's Next Top Model, where former contestants spoke about negative experiences on the show. Tyra was heavily criticized, with many accusing her of harsh treatment toward participants. While others involved in the show were also blamed, Tyra remained the central figure. Critics pointed out the contradiction between how contestants were treated and later appeals for understanding when public opinion turned against her.
One, Tyra Banks made the models, specifically Danny and Joni, go to the dentist to get their teeth pulled and gap fixed, or else they'd be kicked off the show and sent home. And despite Danny winning it all, she couldn't book shit because she was stigmatized as a reality TV star, which Tyra knew would happen but chose to do nothing about it. Tyra also made her model Ebony shave her head, which was done by condescending white hairstylists who gave her 3 bald spots with dog clippers. And in that same moment of weakness, Tyra called her out for always being ashy and said her shoots were the hardest to do because of her skin, which was damn near perfect. There was also a model by the name of Shani Sullivan who was SA'd while under the influence in Italy, and the cameraman decided to record the entire thing for good television. And years later, Shani told Tyra on her talk show that she couldn't watch the show because of all the trauma she endured, and Tyra responded by showing the clips from Italy to everyone watching. Dion, a model from Cycle 8, was forced to pose as a gunshot wound victim when production knew her mom was paralyzed due to gun. They also made the models look and dress homeless with real homeless people in the backgrounds, as well as pose as drug addicts and people with EDs. And this is the real kicker. They made the models swap races for not only 1 shoot, but 2, in which the black models will turn Native American and Korean, and the white models will turn African and African American, all whom were accompanied by 3-year-old babies who matched their swap ethnicities and races. So what was Tyra's explanation for blackface, you may ask? Well, she said this was her way of showing that black and brown were beautiful.
This was my way of showing the world that brown and black is beautiful.
As if she couldn't use the black and brown models that she already had on set. And despite Tyra getting made fun of for her weight IRL, she made a model by the name of Kenya do a shoot as gluttony and an elephant because her stomach was a little bigger compared to the other models. Kenya also voiced the fact that she was uncomfortable while working with a male model by the name of Bertini, but it was ultimately brushed off by production. But come to find out, the final shot they chose was bro gripping her thigh. Is that a coincidence? We all obviously seen the "We were all rooting for you" clip.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
which I didn't think was that bad until she blew up the fact that Tiffany's grandmom had her lights turned off because she had to buy a swimsuit for the competition.
The documentary revealed deeper issues, with former contestants describing emotional distress and long-term consequences after appearing on the show. Many felt they were used for entertainment without meaningful career opportunities afterward. Although Tyra acknowledged some mistakes, critics felt her apology lacked full accountability, arguing she shifted some blame onto audience expectations. This sparked debate about responsibility in reality TV and whether entertainment value was prioritized over participants' well-being.
I regret making that girl chop her own hand off? Of course I do. Of course I do. Do I see it differently now? Of course I do. 20/20 vision in hindsight? Of course I wouldn't make her do that. But you guys made me do that. That's what I'm saying. It's reality TV. You guys would have been more mad at me if I didn't make her do that. You see what I'm saying? My hands were tied. Okay, production said, you have to do this or the show is canceled. Okay, even though it was my idea to make her chop her hand off. And I spearheaded the whole thing, but my hands were tied. You guys forced me to do that. Would I do that today? Of course I wouldn't. Of course I wouldn't do that today. But we're in a different time now. We live in a different time. Do I regret making her chop her hand off? Of course I do. Would I take it back? Yeah.
Despite the backlash, Sherri publicly defended Tyra on her show, which didn't sit well with many viewers. Critics felt she was excusing harmful behavior instead of holding it accountable. This wasn't the first time Sherri faced criticism for her stance on controversial figures. She previously expressed interest in interviewing Chris Brown and supported having Jonathan Majors on her platform despite their legal controversies. She emphasized her belief in second chances, but many people felt this approach ignored serious allegations.
People don't understand when we are in power, the battles we gotta fight that you will never know about. Never. To keep a show on the air, there are things that we have to do that people will tell us. If you want to stay on the air, this is what you got to do. And we got to weigh the options. And sometimes we make bad decisions and we look up and we go, in hindsight, maybe I should not have done it. I've been up all night watching Netflix's documentary about Tyra Banks and America's Next Top Model. When I tell you I was hooked, I understand why people are mad. I do understand. But I also say, you have to understand the time that this all happened was in 2003. Reality TV was a wild, wild west back then. Every show was trying to outdo each other to stay on the air. We had people that were eating rats on Survivor. We had people getting in Nevada spiders on Fear Factor. Simon Cowell was telling people they sucked to their faces. I cannot forget that Tyra that was a young black woman trying to make it in the reality TV game. Like now we have a plethora of TV shows. We're not naive to what goes on behind the scenes in reality shows today. So we're trying to compare a time today that we know a lot to a time when there was nothing.
The situation escalated when Sherri became emotional on air while discussing the backlash. Some viewers interpreted her reaction as a sign that she anticipated criticism or felt personally affected by the situation. She later invited former judges from America's Next Top Model onto her show and continued to defend Tyra, even asking critics what they expected her to do now. This further fueled the conversation online, with audiences divided over whether Sherri was showing loyalty or avoiding accountability.
I felt that Tyra did not take accountability. It's been a lot of backlash online and everywhere. What should Tyra do?
Well, wow, yeah.
Actually, she should answer questions.
She should answer the questions that they ask her.
I mean, look, I'm not her publicist.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure who her publicist is, but
As more details emerged, new theories began circulating about why her show ended. Some believe it wasn't about ratings but disagreements behind the scenes. Reports suggest Sherri was negotiating a higher salary and requesting changes to her schedule, including fewer filming days. There are also claims that tensions grew between her and the production company, possibly contributing to the decision not to continue the show. Supporters compare her situation to Katt Williams, who has spoken about industry conflicts in the past. Others point out that long-running hosts like Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah Winfrey maintain their platforms for years, leading to debates about what truly determines longevity in daytime television. At this point, it's unclear whether Sherri will return with another show or if this marks a permanent shift in her career, but the conversation around her exit is far from over.